episode 10 of Two Poets, the show where we talk about poetry and creative things that affect us as creative people, and we just hang out and chat with you guys.
Yes, 100%. You might be wondering, where the heck are they?
Yeah, so if you are watching the video, we are currently in my dining room right
Complete
now.
with beautiful Lego flowers, which I love.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And I had to get her sign here on the table.
It's perfect, dude.
As well. And for those of you listening and not watching, just disregard what we're talking about because it doesn't matter.
Just imagine that we're sitting in a meadow having a picnic or something like that.
Recording this on our Windows 95 PC.
We're on a mountaintop somewhere.
Hold on.
That's
the wind through the trees.
That's our special effects department. They're going to put in some CG on this one. It's going to be good.
Oh, I had to cut them from the budget.
The freaking budget, man. Budgets kill everything.
Well, anyways, we're glad you guys are here watching us. We love to ramble. We'll keep on going. We'll keep seeing how much folly work we can do. So
freaking budgets.
Freaking budgets. So that's why you need to pay. No, I'm kidding. Send money to Cash App.
Yeah, our Venmo is. Oh man, we should get a Venmo just to say we have one.
We should just
we
to see
won't
if
tell anybody what it is. We'll just say, we got Venmo.
Just send each episode. Just send it to our Venmo.
If you can find it, we'll send you money.
If you can find our Venmo, we're not going to call it Two Poets. It's going to be some random name.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or you can just start sending money to everyone on Venmo you can think of, and hopefully it turns out to be us.
A quarter at a time. There it is.
One penny to millions of people. That adds up.
25 cents.
Awesome. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks. I know we're still a bit on this bi-weekly schedule for now, but it's all right. We're still putting it out and having fun.
Yes,
but
making it happen. Yeah,
it's been another crazy week, I think, for all of us. So
yep, it's been an interesting one. This week I will be in the city from Thursday through Monday.
Ooh.
So that's going to be fun.
So you're leaving tomorrow then, and we'll be back until Monday?
I'll leave tomorrow and get back Monday night, and then I'll have 2 days, and I'll do it all over again.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Got to get you that place up there.
If anybody knows of a car with working AC, I would be all ears. So, yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, I'll have to get you a car. They need to build that, like, public transport super train from here to the city.
Dude. That would be awesome.
They had talked about that like 5 years ago, doing some
sick
public transport from here to the city. So
take like 5 minutes.
Probably.
No, not really. Underground tube that they shoot you through. That would be awesome.
That would be pretty sweet. Eventually, those of us out here in the, forgotten areas of Oklahoma will.
Yeah, no kidding.
But anyways, yeah, so you're going to where you're basically working full time now.
Yes.
Right.
Full time.
At Clarity Coffee in Oklahoma City. So if any of you listening from Oklahoma City, Clarity Coffee, you can go meet Ben.
Yeah, you should come check it out. I am at Clarity, and I work at both locations. So there's one downtown on Main Street, and there's another one in the Wheeler District, which is really fun. So it's been a fun time.
Yeah, it is a place with amazing coffee.
Yeah.
We try to go there every time we go to the city, so it's amazing. So you're doing that. Still trying to find a place up there.
Yeah, we think we may have found a place. We went and looked at some apartments. We had some friends that were they were trying to help us out so much, and they had a place we were going to buy, and because of the rules of COVID, you cannot get loan approval until you have 6 months job history,
which is stupid,
which is ridiculous. Doesn't matter how good your credit is, doesn't matter how much money you have to put down, you can't do it now. So
they're going to make you commute almost 2 hours to work every day for 6 months before they.
So we just decided we're just going to do the apartment life. We're going to find a place and we're going to do it for a little bit. So that's going to be fun. I think it'll be kind of like a load off for a little bit. So
do you know what part of the city you're gonna try to get an apartment in?
We looked at a couple places. We're not 100% sure yet, but we're looking. The place we were kind of interested in was more south, but it was like 13 minutes from downtown, so it wasn't too bad. So yeah,
nice.
I think it's gonna be pretty good.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys to be up there. That's just another reason for me to go to Oklahoma City.
Yes,
so
you should come and visit us. It'll be great.
Yeah. Let's see. What exciting things happened with me this week?
You haven't done hardly anything at all this week,
Oh,
have
no,
you?
not at all. No.
You're not. It's not like you're building a spaceship or anything.
Yeah. So we actually the past couple days we've only been working half days because here in Oklahoma and most of the world we've been having heat advisories. Like it's been dangerous heat with the humidity. It's like there's a term for it. I cannot remember the term for it.
The term is surface of the sun.
Yeah, that
is
too.
the term. Or the gates of hell.
I think that's the correct term. But anyways, it's been like people not here, but like people in the state have died in the past week because of this dumb heat. So we just been working half days, basically till noon, and then by the time it gets noon, it's already stupid hot. So we just go home and haven't been working.
And how early do you start out there?
We start about 8:30.
Oh, that's not okay.
We start about 8:30 in the morning. So
I'm not getting up at like 5 a.m. and
you have to do that. Hey, I'm an artist now. I don't have to get up super early.
You set your own schedule.
That's right.
You just determine how long you want to take to get something done. That's all.
That's true.
That's the way.
Yeah, so I've been working on the spaceship, and then I'm currently working on a commission for 2 hand-painted signs for a business here in town. Been trying to finish those up this week. I wasn't supposed to have them. I was trying to set myself a schedule for finishing them last week, and I'm still not done. So, got to finish those. And then, I went through some, I think I talked about it the last time. I had a car wreck, went through some car problems. Finally got a truck, which is great. And then last night, the people I'm buying the truck from, my in-laws, they took it to get serviced. They got it detailed and cleaned. Brought it to me yesterday. 3 hours after they brought it to me, some idiot flies down our street and clips my my side mirror on the driver's side, destroys it, explodes it. But I caught it on the camera.
Yeah, so. We know what your truck looks like.
Yeah, I know what your truck looks like. I will fight. I'm going to drive up down the street looking for you.
Yes, we're going to send Corey's wife out after you.
Yeah, she shows no mercy.
She does not play nice at all. So
I'm going to find them. He owes me $85 for a new.
85?
Yeah.
Dang.
I had to buy one. I had to put it on this morning this evening, a couple hours before you got here, and it was surface of the sun outside. I'm trying to change his dang mirror.
I'm sorry, dude. You're like looking into a mirror like.
Yeah. I'm just like drenched in sweat by the time I'm done. I'm like, I'm not even working hard.
Yeah.
But I'm just drenched in sweat.
I'm sorry. That's crazy.
Yeah. But that's our week. I'm glad though that we now can just sit and chat. And this is the best part of the week. So
totally, man. I agree with that. This is so fun.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about anything. We just sit here and chat.
Yeah, there is inspiration in everything. Like, there's so many things happening constantly. You're constantly working or moving or doing something, or people are breaking stuff or whatever. So there's inspiration everywhere. Yeah, you just gotta channel that inspiration.
I'm going to write a poem now about a douchebag who breaks mirrors. Call it Dear Douchebag.
Hopefully the douchebag will see himself.
Yeah. It's funny because like I posted it on Facebook. It was like, if everybody sees this guy or sees this truck, let me know. And then like a bunch of people have been sharing it. So
that's awesome.
I'm going to laugh if...
I need to get on there and share it too. That's so great. I love it.
All right. So we got a prompt last week from Eric Castillo. And the prompt was write about traveling somewhere for the first time.
Yeah.
And so, I wrote my poem about that. And I think we'll go ahead and get into our poems this week.
Do it.
I can go first this time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been 2 weeks. I don't remember who went first last time. So whatever. Yeah.
Go for it.
So when I was sitting down to do this poem, like I've been thinking about it all week, and I was just like, I just don't know where to go with it. I was like, do I go, just like a specific place and write a poem about that, or do I get like artistic with it, and change the meaning of what it means to travel somewhere for the first time? Just being like travel in love somewhere or travel in fear,
Okay.
I was like, but I just went normal. So
cool.
This one is called Across the Ocean.
Ooh, nice.
It is about my first experience on a plane.
Love it.
Well, partially that, but so Across the Ocean. Thank you, Eric, for your prompt. The rumble I felt inside this majestic steel structure made me feel uneasy in my seat. I have never left the ground before until now. Travel through the air feels most unnatural, but it has become ingrained in our very systems. But it doesn't change the fact that it's weird. As we ascended into the sky, my grip tightened upon the armrests, And I'm sure I made my neighbor uneasy, but it was my first time, so I didn't care. 14 hours spent watching movies and sleeping and thinking and feeling excited now. I was doing it. As the ocean turned to land and the clouds parted, I saw it. The Emerald Isle. Like a patchwork of shaded green quilts stitched together like a welcome mat. It was beautiful. Breathing in the Irish air, I stepped foot into a country not my own. The energy felt like nothing I felt before, and I couldn't wait to explore a culture I knew nothing about. I saw sights I've only seen in books and met people with the voice of an angel, and walked more in those 2 weeks than any time I've been alive. It's uncomfortable to step out and experience a world unlike your own, but your soul needs it, like you need air to breathe or eyes to see. Step out and grab it and imagine a world not your own.
Yeah. I love that. That's some good imagery. I love I probably made my neighbor uncomfortable, but I don't care. It's funny when you get in those uncomfortable situations, you do not care how you come off. You're like, I am allowed to be this way. I love that. That's so good.
I think I was 16.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, and we were flying to Ireland for 2 weeks. And I'd never been on a plane before. And so obviously my first plane ride was 14 hours across the ocean.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I do remember like just sitting there like playing it cool, like I'm on a plane. But as soon as like the start taking off, I'm like just grabbing my seat rests and just freaking out. But once we got in the air, I was fine. I was like, okay, that was no big deal. But it was still weird. Like the first time you fly is just such a weird feeling.
It is weird. And you get past the takeoff and then you get up there and then your head starts feeling weird and your ears pop and it's like, oh. So my mom was always like, oh, I always chew gum. I was like, oh, okay. So I'd always take gum with me. And then it got to the point where I didn't need gum anymore. And then I haven't flown in years. So I'm probably like, dang, I probably need gum if I get up there.
But that's awesome, man. Ireland is probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been.
Oh, I bet.
And we got to see so much cool stuff there and it was just amazing.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite like area that you went to there?
I think Dublin was my favorite. And I cannot remember the name. Oh, Grafton Street in Dublin, because there was just buskers all lining that street. So there's just so much music. And I mean, it is kind of a touristy street. That's probably why there's so much buskers, but I just loved it because I would just go and listen to music.
Heck yeah, dude.
And just chill down there and see all these different people playing music.
That's awesome. I love that. Good imagery. Good storytelling. Cool. I wrote about my first time overseas too. So that worked out pretty good.
That's hilarious.
This is actually so because the week has been so crazy, the last 2 weeks been so crazy, traveling and stuff. I did not write a poem this week. I chose a poem that I wrote a few years ago, but it is from a real life incident I had in Asia, which is really cool. So this is called The Semarang Wall. I'm on the street in Semarang, Indonesia, a few blocks from my hotel, trying to photograph a wall. No special reason other than its natural wear and artistic characteristics, with a huge diagonal crack running through it and a bearded spider graffitied on one side of the crack. A man approaches me. He is dressed in white robes, wearing a red cloth with a black band tied around his head, and he drives a rickshaw. He's asking me where I'd like to go. Nowhere. I'm fine here, thank you. He sees my old Canon Rebel XT camera. Oh, he exclaims, holding up an imaginary camera. You photo? I smile and nod. I take you. You ride and photo, he says, clicking a pantomime lens. I smile, but shake my head. No, thank you. I turn back to the wall, crouch down to the pavement, and click. He watches me, then stares at the wall, tilting his head as if to see something he's never seen before. Then he turns and looks back at his blue rickshaw with the tattered cloth top and the rusty bicycle. He looks back at the wall, then he looks at me again, confused. Just down the street is an ancient temple with an altar in front of it. Farther on down are more historical buildings and structures. In the middle of the city is a large Buddhist temple, one of the largest in Indonesia. He watches me for several seconds before boarding his bicycle and slowly pedaling the rickshaw away. I turn and watch him pedal down the street, and I smile to myself. I can only imagine what he's thinking.
I like that.
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird altercation.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You find yourself doing something and you're like, oh, this is really cool. So you get immersed in it. And then you, like, when you think about it, you're like,
They probably thought that was
they
really
probably
weird.
thought I was an idiot. What was this American doing?
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I thought about it later. I was like, it is pretty funny. I was like taking a picture of this stupid wall and there's like all this cool stuff around that I didn't take any pictures of. But yeah.
He's probably like, temple,
He's like,
people,
bro, what are you
flowers.
doing? But I also didn't have any money on me at that point. So I was like, I don't want to get stuck somewhere. And
Yeah.
but yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. When, how old were you when you went to Indonesia?
I was in my 20s. I was probably 24, 25 maybe.
Okay.
So I had I met this guy who is a preacher. He's like a traveling preacher, and he used to take people with him because he would go overseas all the time. Mm-hmm. And he asked if I wanted to go with him, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. So we went to Guatemala for a week. And then when we got back, he was like, hey, my other person fell through. Do you just want to go with me on this other trip? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. So I got like 2 trips out of it, which is so fun. But yeah, that was my first time overseas too. So
very cool.
It was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you've never been overseas, you definitely need to. There's a whole world out there to experience.
Yes. Do it sooner than later. Find you a really good credit card and get those mileage points.
That's true. Just be good with the credit card.
Yeah, right.
Don't go crazy.
Or find a good local group or a church or something that's going somewhere you want to go.
Hitch a ride.
Do some fundraising. That's it.
Well, since we're still talking about overseas, how many countries have you been to? Have you gotten to visit?
Mostly through that trip alone. We went to Guatemala, and then we went to Semarang, Jakarta, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. We stopped for a layover in Japan, but we didn't leave the airport. So I technically was in Japan, but I wasn't in Japan, So I think that was mostly it. Oh, and Singapore. We went to Singapore too, which that was cool.
Nice.
So yeah, it was kind of like these little places that he was like commissioned to go to for little periods of time. And so we were like one place for a few days, and then we were another place for like 2 weeks. Yeah. And then another place for a week, and another place for a week. And it was very interesting. The guy was, he was like, at the time he was like in his 70s. Wow. So, and he still does it now. And, that was probably about 10 years ago now. So, and he's still going strong. So yeah, I'm just like, I don't know how you do this, dude. I was so jet lagged the first night because it's the same. It was like a 20-hour flight, I think. Yeah. And, it was crazy. So yeah, it was good times. Good experience for sure.
Heck yeah. Yeah. See, I think you've been more to me. I've been to, Mexico, Brazil, Canada, Ireland, and then we did the same thing. Stopped in Scotland, but never got out and experienced Scotland.
So you technically were in Scotland.
Yeah, exactly.
So it totally counts. Yeah. So that's awesome, man. Cool. Yeah. Would you have a favorite place out of those that you've been? Would you say Ireland's your favorite, or?
Honestly, I would say Brazil's my favorite.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I've been to Brazil 5 times.
Nice.
And it's been freaking amazing.
Yeah, just for pleasure, or just like, do you have family?
It was church stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it was church stuff. When I was an intern, we would go every year, and we'd go. Do you remember like Team Extreme and those guys? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there was like a group down there. So YWAM, Youth with a Mission, we would go hook up with them and then do work down there in Brazil. But we would do that for a couple of days, and then one of the guys that we'd go with, his wife's from Brazil, and so we would do stuff for a couple of days, and then we would just go with him and his wife and just spend like a week just doing stuff in Brazil. Awesome. And
Cool, man.
And I just love the food down there. It's probably why I enjoyed it the most.
I bet it was fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome, man. Yeah, Hogan and I are really like itching to get out of here and go somewhere. So hopefully we can make that happen pretty soon.
Yeah, definitely need to. Awesome. Well, that was our poems for this week. Thank you, Eric, for the prompt and the idea to talk about travel.
Fantastic prompt.
So we need to plug Eric. How can people find Eric?
Well,
he's doing Instagram now, right?
Yeah, he's on Instagram. Back in the day, he had his blog, which was followeric.com, and I'm sure he still has that.
I think his Instagram is still Follow Eric, isn't it?
Yeah, it should still be Follow Eric. So you should go check out Eric Castillo
at followeric.blog on Instagram.
Boom, there it is.
Yeah, followeric.blog is the username on Instagram. That is the one who gave us this prompt, and he is giving awesome tours in Albuquerque.
He is.
Now.
He's doing historical walking tours for free in Albuquerque because he's a cool guy. So I love that. Yeah, you should definitely go check him out. Good prompt, man.
Yeah.
Love talking about traveling and unique experiences and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I need to do it more. So
yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, we decided to talk about some stuff this week. Ben, what are we going to talk about this week?
How much atmosphere plays into either the creative inspiration or the lack of it.
Yeah.
Because I think we could both say we've been in some atmospheres that have really fueled us creatively, and we've been in some atmospheres that have like killed our creative vibe.
100%.
For sure.
And what's funny is, this was the idea for the topic today, and I completely didn't realize that, and I changed our atmosphere for the recording tonight. So we'll have to see if this recording's better or worse. So.
Yeah, man. It's true. Like atmosphere can make or break everything. Like if you can find a good place to physically be in where you feel either light or happy to be in, or you at least feel like, yeah, I could hang out here for an extended period of time and enjoy my time here. Like that's a good place to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that can make or break a lot. I think that's why I'm so drawn to coffee shops and bars and stuff like that, because the atmosphere is very chill. It's very mellow. It's designed for an intentional experience.
Yeah.
And, sometimes the most creative stuff you can do is sitting by a window in a coffee shop or a restaurant or something
100%.
because they're catered for that type of experience, basically.
Oh, that is so true. Like, I mean, same thing. I love going to coffee shops when I want to write for extended period of time. Or even doing research. Like I feel like when I go to a coffee shop, I sit there, throw my headphones on, or sometimes I don't even throw my headphones on. I'll just listen to the chatter of people talking. Yeah. Depending on the vibe, how I'm feeling. But yeah, I can literally sit in a coffee shop for hours and just write or research or come up with ideas for new projects. And there's just something about taking yourself out of your element into something that just feels comfortable and safe and that really can inspire creativity and unlock your brain.
Yeah.
Because think about it, in anything we do, whether it's writing or art, whatever it is, you typically have a place you go to create. Like whether it's your own art studio, like you convert your office into an art room, and that's where you go to create because you feel comfortable there. You feel like you can be creative there. Yeah. Or anytime you write your screenplay, you go to Starbucks. You feel comfortable there to write there.
For sure, man.
And so those atmospheres really play a big part in creativity.
There's something about it that can help you unlock areas of your brain that are hard to do when you are trying to do it. So if you can go somewhere where you feel like you have sensory experience, where there's good smells or good taste, or there's like chill music playing, or it's like really bright and airy vibes, a lot of times those things can help come together to unlock areas of your mind and your thinking process that maybe you wouldn't be able to do if you were sitting at home or if you were stuck in an office or, doing that kind of thing. So that's like a lot of times when people are talking about trying to find a job or trying to find a place to work that they won't hate. Yeah. I'm always like, dude, doesn't matter what you do, find the atmosphere that you can enjoy being in for extended periods of time, because that's going to make or break your whole situation.
100%.
Don't focus so much on the money aspect as much as the atmosphere, because once you get in there, you might be able to be a better performer in that environment, or you might be able to have things in your brain that unlock that help you like step into your role better or something. And it goes the other way too, because if you're in a really, really depressing, crummy atmosphere, like doesn't matter how much you get paid, like you're going to suffer.
100%.
And you won't be able to do it. You're going to hate your life. You're going to loathe going into work every day. It's going to be really hard to grow out of that.
No, 100%. Yeah. The work thing I think is really important. Like you're saying, giving that advice, like find an atmosphere, find a place to work that you're going to feel comfortable working in, that you're going to wake up and be like, I get to go to work today. When I was living in Tulsa, this was 6 or so years ago, I found a job that it was like my dream job, right? It was to build custom furniture. And I was like, yes, I found this job. And I was going to get to work there with my best friend, Duncan. Like, he was already working there. He told me about it. And I was like, yes, that's all I want to do is build beautiful furniture,
Sweet.
like all custom, It's like, this is my dream job. Get there, job's going good for a little bit, but then all these red flags started going up because of the boss there. He was a nightmare, to put it lightly.
Yeah.
Like, treated employees like crap, treated customers like all they are is good for giving him money. Didn't really care what they thought. He would just talk them into the most expensive things, and then we would build all this custom stuff and cut corners in some places, and it was just pathetic. Dude. But the job was what I wanted so bad. But the atmosphere was the most toxic, the most worst thing. And I suffered because I would go home, some days we'd be working until, 7 o'clock. We would start our days at like 6 a.m. Some days we'd work until 6 or 7 o'clock, super long days. And I just go home and fall asleep on the couch. Had no energy to do anything. I didn't want to go out. I didn't want to work on any projects. It just kills your energy.
That's so rough, man. And it sucks too when like one bad person can just totally kill the whole experience. Was there ever a day when he like didn't show up or something?
Yes,
and it was like the best day ever?
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks.
He went, I would say yes, but there was also a time when he went to Hawaii. So he was gone for a week in Hawaii, right? Yeah, exactly. He talked a customer into bringing him out to Hawaii so he could like fix some of the furniture stuff we did. Because we would build these automatic TV lifts. So they were pieces of furniture that you push a button and your TV comes up out of it and then goes back down and hides. So they're really expensive. And so he talked this guy into flying him out to Hawaii, fixing it, and then talked him into somehow he got to stay for an extra week and just hang out with this really rich guy while we're all working in the shop,
of course.
But yeah, when he was gone, it was like the three of us working there who were all woodworkers absolutely love this. It's just like, oh, we can breathe. But then somehow, even in that week where he's gone, he was still making our life.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how he did it, but it was still happening that way.
So crazy.
He would send people to check on us and do this and that. It's like, come on, man. But still, like, we would just get to put music on and just work and not have to worry about him walking through there yelling at everybody,
Ugh, that's the worst, man. I hate that. I've not had like I've kind of had similar stuff where there's one person, like if they just didn't come in that day, you knew it was going to be a good day.
Exactly.
And you could get your job done. And I've kind of been there where it's like the one person who micromanages and he'll tell you to go do something, but then he'll come and he'll pull you off that and tell you to do something else. And then he'll turn around and yell at a customer or something and then tell you to go fix that problem. And then
why didn't you do that one thing he pulled you off of?
Yeah, you were supposed to do that, bro. I'm like, it's 5 o'clock, dude. You pulled me off that 4 hours ago, Yep. And so that plays a huge role. If you're around people that just bring you down, man, that can definitely kill a creative like faster than anything.
So fast, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, and you could just like look at yourself in the mirror, you know, when you get home, and you just see just the defeat in your eyes, the energy drained from you. And then you start this struggle of, but I want to create, I want to write, I want to do art, but I don't have the brain power right now. And then you just keep putting projects off, and then you're backed up project after project, you know, and it's just the worst. So change your atmosphere. If you can, change your atmosphere a little at a time.
Yeah, if you're able to, or if you are able to, maybe it's not a work-related thing. If you're able to like cut some people out of your life,
yes,
that might be a necessary thing to do if you keep finding yourself in the same emotional rut of like, why do I always feel drained when I'm around this person or when I come home or whatever? Like, look at the people in your life, find the people who instill those vibes of creativity or just lightheartedness, and hang around those people.
Yeah.
And then cut out the people that are just bringing you down all the time. Unless you're the type of person who is like, I feel like I'm supposed to be around this person because I feel like they need help. That's a different situation. But if it's a normal relationship, and every time you're around that person, you just feel angry or like depressed because they're constantly whatever about, like, just find a way to not be around that person.
Absolutely.
Like, let them go.
Yes.
It's not worth it.
It is okay to cut ties, and also understand your limits too. Don't be the person that's always saying yes to everything. Learn how to say no, because even that will just kill your vibe, you know? I mean, that's not necessarily an atmospheric issue, but just something you're bringing home with you that will affect the atmosphere in your home, in your studio, whatever it is you're doing.
For sure.
Yeah. So don't be like me, is what I'm trying to say.
It is good to know your limits before you get into that space, because some people will hear you say yes, and then they just will automatically expect you to say yes every time. Yeah. And then you become the yes man. And then when you do actually say, hey, no, I can't actually do that, then it's like, well, what the heck? You're not pulling your weight. Why? We thought you were a team player, you know, or whatever. And so it's probably good, like, to just kind of, before you get into that situation, kind of know what you are capable of or not. Because if someone comes and like, hey, can you do this thing by this time? It's totally fine for like, well, I could probably do that. I don't think I could do it in the time frame you want. Here's what I could do. Yeah. Like, it's good to know kind of your limits and to know how to be a negotiator in that sense, because then you kind of just set the expectation right there. Because there's nothing worse than telling someone, oh yeah, absolutely, I can do that. And then realizing what you agreed to and be like, crap, I have a week. How am I supposed to do that? And then it just becomes a stressful thing. Yeah. Not a cool place to be. Know your limits. Yeah, know your limits, know your surroundings, cut things out of your life that might be, you know, causing you to get stressed out. If your job is constantly stressing you out and you have the ability to look for something new, just do it. Save yourself years of trouble and heartache. We've got one life to live. Don't waste years working for a boss who is just the worst. Seriously. When you can be out there enjoying a job, you know, working for a boss who cares for his employees. You know, or start your own business. I don't know, do something, you know. Yeah, seriously. Like, be tactful about it. Don't just say, Ben and Corey told me to quit my job. Like, we did not say that. Like, give your 2 weeks or be professional, do whatever you got to do. Yeah. But yeah, find the thing that gives you energy or gives you passion and pursue that, even if it's on the side. Make time for that for yourself. Yeah. And find ways to incorporate that, like, those things into your life, those hobbies, because they could turn into something for you in the future. Absolutely. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Sweet. So we've talked about ways that will mess you up, you know. Now let's talk about the opposite of that, creating an atmosphere that is welcoming and safe. So, like, something that I do to create an atmosphere for me for, like, inspiration. And so, like, in my office, although right now my office is a complete mess, that's why we're recording in another room, because it's basically turned into a makeshift art studio at the moment. But normally I have, like, you know, art that I love, you know, some specific pieces I have hanging on the wall that every time I look at them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's one of my favorite artists, you know, and I always wanted to draw like that. And then I have, like,
so many board games in there because that inspires me to be creative.
Totally.
And because board games make me happy, if it's something that makes me happy, then have just like a bunch of little trinkets and stuff that, trigger happy emotions, so I think one way of creating an atmosphere is to, make your space, whether it's your home office, your bedroom, your work office, a little cubby at your work, even if it's just like a little cubby you have at work, like make it your own, do something that's going to trigger some kind of inspiration in you, whether it's art, books, pictures, something.
Cultivate that space, make it, for sure. It's like having a locker in grade school.
Mm-hmm.
You just put the stuff in there that matters to you, so that no matter how hard your class has been, when you have your break, you go to your locker, there's your thing, and it makes you feel good, or whatever.
Yeah.
Same concept. Yeah, man. Cultivating your space is really, really important. I think if you can find things that you would see in a place and you were like throwing it on the other hand, if it's a job, for instance, if I was a customer, what would I want? Mm-hmm. What would I want to walk into?
Yeah.
And I would want something that feels welcoming and isn't like overwhelming and isn't breathing down my neck. And it allows me to come in and decide for myself and feels comfortable. I could spend some time in here. Like that's kind of the same thing. So flip it and say, what are some things about this that I would want if I was having to come here for whatever they provide?
Yeah.
That's a good place to be, because you can look at the atmosphere and say, okay, well, I can help cultivate that for someone, which gives a little bit of more of a sense of satisfaction in that. Mm-hmm. So I could be in this space and actually enjoy being in here. I could enjoy like helping people get what they need and be satisfied. Yeah. And I wouldn't hate my life because it fits the vibes that I like. It's open and bright, or it's, they let us play music and it's cool, or whatever. Just flip it and say, what would I want? Mm-hmm. If I had to be here for whatever reason,
Yeah.
I think that's a really healthy way to look at that. If it's not a job, if it's like something that is either, a place to cultivate, like an office or something, mm-hmm. I totally agree with you. Like cultivating your space, find the things that either inspire you or find the things that challenge you. Yeah. So like I know people that they did something and it failed. And so they took a picture of it and they put it on their desk, or whatever. Mm. And that's the thing that motivates them. That's something that it brings out inspiration, because every time they look at it, they don't just see the failure, they see the things that they can improve on. So they look at this thing and they're like, oh, okay, I see the problem with that. So how could I cultivate that, or how could I bring out something to fix that problem? Mm-hmm. And maybe that's something that would inspire some people, because I totally kind of feed off that. I think I'm in some ways very competitive with myself, mm-hmm. to the point where I can sometimes be like too hard on myself.
Gotcha.
But I think it's good to challenge yourself and have some competitive things in there too. So I would say, like, if you can cultivate a space that meets those things, or that challenges you to actually think outside of your little creative bubble, like, I think that's a healthy thing too, for sure. Yeah. Not to like not to be down on yourself because you failed, but mm-hmm. to do things that are like, oh, okay, I see how I could do that better, or I see where that went wrong. I'm going to work harder to be better at that next time,
Absolutely. No, I think that's good. I think those kind of motivators are healthy, because it's basically learning from your past. As long as you're mm-hmm. learning from it, I think that's healthy. Yeah. As long as you are learning and you're not putting up there as a reminder of how much of a failure you are. Yeah, but you're putting it up there as a reminder of, we did this thing, it didn't work out. Now this is our reminder to do better or to do different, mm-hmm. And I think that's perfectly healthy. I think that's a thing that'd probably be good for all of us to do, is
to some degree.
Yeah, to some degree. So. It's like, this was my past. This was something I did that didn't work. But what's cool is I learned how to do this out of it, mm-hmm. Or I learned something about myself through that process. you know, and I've started and stopped so many different projects and businesses and things, and I'm like, well, I learned something about myself with this. I can't do this.
Yeah.
I learned something about this. I don't have the time to do this.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
you learn those things.
I think that's a healthy thing too, is finding things that you have limits to, and knowing your limits, because if you don't know your limits, you're going to keep chasing the thing that for whatever reason you can't accomplish on your own. You're going to burn yourself out. So that's a healthy thing to know your limits.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Burnout's real.
Oh man, is it ever? It is so real.
Man, so yeah, cultivating that atmosphere. I think that's a good lesson for us all. I'm trying to think of a book that I read about this topic, and I cannot remember what it's called, and now it's going to haunt me because it just like escaped my brain, and now I can't remember it. I'll remember it later. And if I remember later, I'll post it on Instagram or something. But
there you go. I like what you said about learning to do better next time. That's another thing that's good for a healthy atmosphere. Find an atmosphere that allows you the ability to learn so you can be better. Something that I could not handle is if I was in a place where I got punished for mistakes. That kind of stuff drives me crazy because I'm a visual learner, and it helps me to learn things when people show me. Yeah. Or when there's good, like, adequate explanation of things to where, like, you can understand, here's the process for how we do it, but here's also the reason for why we do it.
Yes.
And if you don't have that, you're going to be in a very frustrating space because you're going to make mistakes. And then they're going to be like, why are you making mistakes? Like, you should be better than this. And then they're going to be like, we're going to have our quarterly meeting and we're going to talk about all these mistakes you've made. You know, like, that's not a good place to be. I don't know anyone that would thrive in that kind of atmosphere.
Oh gosh,
maybe there's a competitive person out there that could, but that does not work for me. Like, you need to find a place that encourages you to learn from mistakes and recognizes that mistakes are normal and it's healthy and to a degree, you know, and they empower you to actually become better by failing. Like, that's a good indicator of a healthy atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if you don't know the why, then
what's the point?
You're not learning anything. You don't know how to fix the problem that apparently you have. When a boss is just like, you're doing all this wrong, it's like, okay, why? Why am I doing this wrong? Tell me, explain me, walk me through this.
Yeah, obviously I'm missing something.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep messing up unless you tell me what it is.
If you don't know, then we're all in trouble. Yeah. And if you do know, why are you keeping it a secret? Like, you shouldn't like be keeping secrets from people. You should be empowering them.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think, like, even like when we're talking about, you know, being in some kind of atmosphere that's just draining, I think even in that instance, it's like, find the why in that. Why are you feeling so drained when you come home from work?
Seriously.
Why are you no longer having the motivation to paint? Or why are you no longer working on the book you started a year ago? You know, what are the factors in your life that are like, what's changed recently that all of a sudden you have no desire to do anything, you know? And it could, like we've been talking about, it could be the job that's just taking so much out of you that it's like, maybe we should find something different. Seriously. You know, if you can, well, I understand you need money, you need jobs. Sometimes you have to work those crappy jobs for a while. But if you can make the choice to change it, definitely do. You know, in the end, it's just like, why is it when, you know, I'm painting, all of a sudden I have no more inspiration? Why is it that I start to write and just words aren't coming out? Like, what is that why? Yeah. You know, is it just maybe because I don't go on walks as much as I used to? You know, is it I'm not hanging out with my friends as much as I used to? I'm not communicating with my loved ones anymore? Like, typically there's something's happening for a reason, right? Yeah. Like, you don't just one day all of a sudden, I just don't want to draw anymore, no inspiration anymore for weeks. It's like, well, no, something's changed.
There's something that leads you to going on. Yeah, for sure. If you're not getting good, like you said, going on walks, or if you're not getting a good social,
and then you got to look at yourself. Like, are you introverted?
Yeah,
are you extroverted?
Are you actually taking care of yourself to a degree where you can get good socialization and you can get like fresh air and you can eat well, so you don't feel like crap all the time.
Eating's another thing.
Dude,
yeah.
food is a huge mood booster or like mood killer for sure. If you're eating like crap all the time, yeah, that's definitely going to bring you down and kill your inspiration.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be depressed because you won't feel good.
Living on the surface of the sun when it's 100-something degrees outside.
So we ask ourselves, why are we still here?
Exactly.
What are we doing? What is the
Why
purpose?
are we still here where it is so hot right now? Because that is killing my motivation to do anything.
For sure, man. Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's good to be very like aware of your surroundings and be very intentional in, if you can't pick the right atmosphere, is it an atmosphere that allows you to bring things to make it better?
Yeah.
And how do you cultivate that will allow you to cultivate the type of atmosphere where you can actually be the best version of yourself?
Yeah.
I think that's really important.
No, that's really good. Yeah, being the best version of yourself, because there's so much in all of us.
Yeah.
You know, like I think that you said that's really good is, what can we do to bring out the best version of ourselves? What can we change? You know, what can we answer about why things are happening the way they are to be the best version of ourselves?
Yeah.
That's really good.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Finally. No.
hey everyone, this is the first time Ben's ever said anything
had a
great.
good thing to say. I'm going to go home and write that in my journal.
Oh man, that's gonna be our next prompt is Ben said something cool. Write a poem about it.
Ben said something inspirational.
Awesome. No, I think that's really great. I think that's going to give everyone, hopefully that gives you all something to think about, something to chew on. I'm going to keep thinking about this and chewing on this. And,
Yes.
you know, I think that's even something in our daily lives is just every week or every once a month, just be like, okay, am I happy? Is things going the way they should right now? Am I losing motivation this month? How much have I created this month? Like, I think it's good every now and then to stop and like take an eval of your life, you know?
Yeah. Ask those questions. Why, if I am supposed to be doing the thing that I think I'm supposed to be doing, why am I hating it so much?
Yeah.
You know, or why do I feel so whatever? And maybe you just stop doing the things that you enjoy outside of those things you have to do, you know? Maybe it's a good reminder to get back to who you really are as a person and a creative.
Yeah, for
And that's
sure.
why we're here. To
That's why
remind
we're
you of
here.
who you are.
To remind you that you are awesome.
You're you. And you're special, just like everyone else.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out again with us.
Good.
And with our new set change for this week, it'll be back to normal later.
I kind of like it.
It is kind of nice.
It
It's
is
brighter
nice.
in here.
Yeah, it's brighter and it's just more open. There's color.
Yeah.
Of course, there's color in the other one too, but
Yeah, sorry my office is so cramped. I mean, you know, we have to do it in there, but no, this is nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
one of these
been
days
fun.
we'll have a sweet studio.
dude, yeah, maybe we should just like once a month, like just pick a random place to set up shop and do a podcast. Like we can go on your front porch or we could go to a park
that'd
or
be
something.
sweet, yeah.
That'd be cool.
We might do that. We're going to think about that. We're going to ponder that. All right. Well, I think it is time to see who our next poem is going to be from.
Yes.
Let me pull up the Excel sheet.
What number are we at now on prompt?
I forgot what we said last week.
15 or something? 20?
So it should be 14 now.
14.
I always have this pulled up, and then I close out of it when I'm done reading my poem, and then it switches my account, and then I have to like log back in.
Nice. Love that.
Oh yeah, I love that for me.
Love
Okay,
that for you.
spin it.
Boom. Number 2.
Number 2, we got Lauren Keller.
Ooh, we know her.
We do know her.
We're fans.
And the prompt is spirituality.
Dang. Bro, we live in the Bible Belt. You know we're going to have stuff to say about this.
So I think what Ben is saying is you better tune back in to hear what he's got to say next time.
I'm going to struggle. I don't have anything to say.
Could be about anything. Spirituality is everywhere.
Spirituality.
Everything is music.
Yes.
Awesome. Yeah, so spirituality, we're going to be back writing a poem about that. new topics. We might even have a guest again here pretty soon.
Yeah,
so
that'll be exciting.
Yeah, we're gonna start coming up with a list of guests because we need to get some more guests back on here.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Please leave us a review on Apple Music, wherever you want to leave a review. Just find our show, leave a review.
the show. It's
Tell if it's
everywhere.
crappy or good. We don't care. Just let us know. And please write us and let us know what you struggle with, what you've been going through, because we love to chat and talk about that stuff. So
Yes,
hit
we
us up
do.
on our socials, Two Poets Podcast. That's pretty much where you can find it. Here's Ben's cell phone number. It's 55.
Oh, hey.
I wouldn't do that to you publicly.
Appreciate it. You're gonna like DM people. Hey,
DM
by the
people.
way,
Here's Ben's number. Start texting him.
send us some prompts too. We would love to get new.
Yeah.
We are always down to get fresh prompts for sure. So we'd
Yeah,
love
so
to hear
I
from
was
you.
also I was wanting to talk to Ben on a really cool topic that I just had this idea. So a topic that we want to have on the show soon is how artificial intelligence meets poetry
Yes.
and like what that kind of looks like. But what I think we should do, we might do this next week, or we'll
write
debate
AI
about this.
generated poems.
So we'll each write a poem and then AI generate a poem, and then we have to guess which one's the AI, which one's the other one.
We should do that, but then we should read each other's poems. So
let's
like
get- let's
I'll
let's-
write one
ooh.
and I'll generate one, and you do it, and then we switch and
Swap
read them.
them. Yeah. That could be pretty
That would be
because that
interesting.
way we're not hearing the tone of
Yeah, that would
everything.
be, dude. That's a challenge right there. That's a
So
good
we might
one.
do that in a next couple episodes,
yeah.
but I don't know if I want to do that with a spirituality topic.
No,
so maybe on a
yeah.
more lighthearted topic, we'll.
I love the AI topic. That's going to be a
Yeah.
good one. But I'm excited for spirituality
Yeah.
because I think between us there is a well
A lot to say.
of.
We
of
might have a
things.
4-page poem each.
Yeah.
Next
We're
week,
just going to
so
turn it
we'll
into a full-fledged book. It's
Hey,
going to be great.
You never know. Awesome. Well, catch us next time on Two Poets Podcast. We thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah.
As always, I'm Corey,
I'm Ben.
and we'll see you later.
Peace.